called a sit-down. When he had them all in the same room, he laid out how they were going to take down Marcano. Lincoln could be very persuasive. Pretty early on, Michael Greco told Lincoln about it. Between the bribes he was paying out to get gambling legalized and the money needed to pay off the commission, Sal was stretched pretty thin. So Lincoln used that to his advantage. Forced Sal into making some extremely hard decisions. Decisions that would limit his options.
Hey, nice speech. Think they bought it? One of them decides to try the crown on for size. The dossiers are nearly complete. I'll be ready to move when you concerned citizens who are more than happy to share what they know about Sal's coalition. Information on how to contact them will be included with the other intel. Right?
Oh, I do my own driving.
Ooh, man. Well, you weren't playing fucking patty cake. Christ. Look, you want to bring somebody down, you destroy the foundation they're standing on. It's the same basic op we ran over Nam.
Live down here. It's hot. It's humid. Most of the time, you know what it is. It stinks of mud. Wet, rotten mud. It's been buried down deep for way too stench. Hated it then. Hate it now. Frank Pagani runs Tikfa Harbor and out of the city. For the past 8 months, he's been making regular trips to Bermuda. Goddamn thing. He's really been going to... My assumption is that Frank has been taking whatever is salvageable from the... Yeah, unfortunately, we can't walk up to Frank and ask him. He's in Havana now, and he isn't scheduled to be back anytime soon. Frank's businesses are centered around stolen cars and freight. Look for places that'll support that kind of activity. Once you start taking them down, he'll come home.
All right.
I'll put a tap on the Coast Guard and let you know when the Tanager contact. I just picked up this call between Mr. Frank Pagani and Tommy Marcano. The first voice you're gonna hear is Frank's. I checked with Vessel Traffic Services and they're expecting the Tanager. Frank's a slippery bastard, so I have no idea where he'll end up once he's back in the city. His car is on the Tanager, though, thing.
So if I can get onto the boat and plant this, I'll be able to track wherever he goes.
It's the same model we used against the Soviets. Has a mercury base. Just follow it.
Leaving any loose ends.
I'm sure Frank will appreciate your... I gave you some names and I'm paying you to chase them down, so don't give me any of that bullshit. Christ, sometimes I think if you want something done right. You all right?
Thank you. Sammy was so happy.
What the hell did Frank tell you?
Marcano had us rob the reserve so he could get his hand on a set of money.
Had this conversation. None of this is your cancer. A leech. He had always intended to fuck all of you. Christ, look what he did to Vito. The way to make that right is by killing every cocksucker who's ever looked at that piece of shit.
Marcano couldn't print the money himself, so he did Cuban counterfeit.
Tommy Marcano isn't the kind...
Tommy's got to know that I'm coming after Alvarez, so he's probably got him holed up in or near one of those places.
This part of town's run by a man named Tony derazio. From what I was able to piece together, he's a real fucking weirdo. Some kind of... runs his books, launders his money. Hell, he even manages to lose relationships with city officials. It's Tony's job to make sure their asses... Well, that's where things get interesting. Tony lives in the penthouse on the top floor.
I'm gonna need a schedule for when he comes and goes.
I've been watching this cocksucker for a month now, and he's left exactly one time. That was because one of his men fucked up. Took a pipe to the poor bastard. And fuck up things between him and Lou in the process. Be careful with this one. Just because Tony's a goddamn spastic doesn't mean he won't cut your balls off if given the... I have a subscription!
You don't wear continental...
I had bugs and wiretaps all over the damn place. From there, Lincoln had a couple of options. He could use the elevator code. I still don't know how the hell Lincoln...
are intensifying their search for the colored male believed to be responsible for the massacre at the Royal Hotel.
They're saying you threw Tony off the roof? You always had a flair for dramatic.
Tony's ledger.
Wait a minute. Holy shit. Why is Lou willing to comp 10 grand a month at a brothel?
Arno's laying out a bunch of money to get gambling.
Then a judge on the 5th Circuit. There have to be over 20 judges on that bench. Could be anyone.
I start visiting the places listed in that ledger, he'll panic and go to Lou for help.
And that's when we'll find it off.